Welcome back, everybody. I'm Follygon, and this is going to be part 3 of our D.Va character sculpt here. I'm still just working on blocking out the face, so right now, it looks like generic face of random character. Could be anybody. But yeah, this is going to be D.Va, at least that's where we're aiming, at least for the time being. And we'll see where we end up. I hope we end up with D.Va. That's what I'm going for. At least that's what I got my references over to the side for a bunch of just pictures of D.Va, and I haven't really even been focusing too much on those because at least at this point, shape of the head is really important for the character. But other than that, I at least just want to get a base in for like the nose, the ears, and the eyes, and everything else. So we can kind of start to play around with what those basic shapes are going to be. And we don't need to go super in-depth on each one, but what we would like to do is get kind of the basics of where that's going to go. My recommendation, fix my brush here, my recommendation is to, put in kind of, it sounds weird, but the smallest amount of time you can on each feature, and then just kind of jump around a lot. So as you can see here, like, sick mouth, dude, there's nothing there. So we'll get to that. We'll get a mouth eventually, and I'll show you guys how I do that. Maybe we'll do that in this part here, but for the most part, I'm not, like, the mouth will get there eventually. It's not going anywhere. She's gonna need a mouth. I know and understand that. But I'm more concerned about other stuff, like how flat and crappy this looks. We'll look at that in a sec. Let's give her some eyebrows real quick. And if you remember that curved tube brush, that curved tube snap brush that we used to make the eyelids, we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to use it for eyebrows. Wow, crazy. So yeah, like I said, this brush has a lot of different uses. I'm going to come into my, stroke menu, I think, yep, and mess with some of my curve modifiers. What I'm going to do is come to size and adjust this curve. Let's see here. Pull this end down, pull this this part up a little bit. Let's see what we get here. Just click on our curve. And let's increase our brush size a little bit, so we can increase the size of that. And I'll decrease my Z intensity. That's gonna allow my character, or not my character, but this stroke here, it makes it more thin. And let's see, so you can see the difference there. And if I would like, which I might, I can come into my brush modifiers. This is an awesome thing with this brush. Can set this to 4. And we'll get more of a blocky shape for those eyebrows. And I think that looks pretty good for the basic shape. I'm just going to click on my mesh and create those. And these aren't the exact shape of D.Va's eyebrows, but we can adjust these as we go. What I would like to do to start off is use my Z Modeler brush. Great tool, you can find that under BZ and down here, BZM. So Z Modeler, it's essentially box modeling inside of ZBrush. Super awesome. I use it all the time. I'm just going to use it to get rid of some of these extra edge loops. I just don't need so much resolution in here. And it's going to be easier to work with the less resolution that I have. So I just pressed Control W real quick to polygroup that. The end caps where it looked like a different color. And I would rather keep everything as one polygroup here, just so if I make changes or try to select a polygroup in the future, we're not getting anything weird happening. And weird things happening is synonymous with ZBrush, so let's try to keep that as small as possible. So just try to kind of get these into position here. Nothing fancy, really just masking out some points and adjusting them into position. And we'll mess more with this in the future. We just kind of want the at least basic shape in there. It doesn't need to be awesome. It doesn't need to, like I said, you don't need to spend an hour on any one thing. You got time. character's not going anywhere. The eyebrows aren't going anywhere, although they do kind of look like wings, so they might take off. Who knows? So we'll adjust more of the lids here, and then we can kind of get a basic shape for these ears back here as well. For these ears, or at least for now, I'm just going to use a mask pen, kind of paint in my mask here, and just get like a really basic shape. I don't want to spend a ton of time on the ears, and I don't really need or want anything too fancy. So even something just as simple as that. And we can even, you know, Dynamesh it, Z-Remesh it later to adjust the shape, or we could even Z-Remesh it now very, very low and get like a nice, really basic kind of shape there. And using our move brush, we can kind of get that into position. Get a little tilt back on the ears, maybe even give them more of a point, but the character's hair will probably be covering those up. And D.Va also wears some sick headphones, or I don't really know what they are. They look like headphones to me. So those will probably cover those up as well. So for the mouth, let's go ahead and, you know, we'll do the same thing. We'll use our mask pen, I believe. Yep, just the mask pen. Get like a basic kind of, well, oval shape in here for the mouth. Looks a little strange, but if we inverse our mask and push that in, we can start to get the basic shape and proportion of that. From there, just kind of smooth it out, and it looks pretty bad, right? But I mean, Rome wasn't created in a day, or is it Rome? Greece? Rome? Let's say Rome. The road to Rome? I don't know the quote. I'm not good with quotes. Rome wasn't created in a day. Neither was D.Va, probably. So just try to focus on, you know, it's okay if it looks crap, like I said, for now. So just keep working on it, and you'll get there eventually. Don't need to be in any hurry. It's actually a huge downfall, in my opinion, to be in a hurry if you're, you know, trying to sculpt or work with anything in ZBrush. Being in a hurry is a huge detriment, I think, to your progress that you're going to make. As you see, I still have my perspective on here. If I wanted to make like a really clean selection from the silhouette from the side view, I would probably turn that off. And I would like to adjust some of the shapes that we got going in here. And I'm really not that high in poly count. This whole head is like around 200,000, and this is Dynameshed and subdivided once right now. And I'll subdivide again just because I need more resolution in the lips here. I'm not going to really try anything too fancy, but I'm just going to begin with a clay tubes brush and start building up what will be the lips. And honestly, right now I just need some extra geometry in here, kind of bubbling up, and then from there I can take that and kind of bevel that edge in there with a trim brush to try to correct a lot of the shapes that we're going to get here. And I'm thinking about doing one technique where I split the lips here. Very helpful. I'll show it to you here in a sec. Once I correct that lower lip a little bit, just to get some more volume in there. So from here, making sure that my lower subdivs are deleted, I'll use a slice curve brush and bring it straight across the mouth here. And from there I can kind of select that and split hidden, close holes. That looks pretty good, and we'll do the same thing on the bottom piece. So now I have these two separate parts, top of the head and the bottom, and I can kind of start pulling these lips together into the shape that they will be. And this is looking pretty derpy, but hey, again, like I said, one of the things that you kind of need to get used to as a sculptor, as a digital sculptor or traditional, is that things look weird at first. Every character looks like a freaking alien when you start off, but you got to be able to see past the little creepy alien. You got to be able to see the cool character underneath all of that. And part of that comes with practice, but it just takes time and patience. I'm going to use my move brush with backface masking. It's pretty good for just pulling polygons in a certain direction without affecting the other stuff around it. I've mentioned the move brush with backface masking a few times, and I think you can find that in your brush modifiers under auto masking. So that's brush modifiers auto masking, which is somewhere over here. Maybe not modifiers, but brush and then auto masking. So there you go, backface mask. Very, very powerful tool, and I use it on most of my brushes. Really, most of the character of the lips comes from this bottom lip, and then the top lip, the top lip has most of the character, and then the bottom lip is kind of just, it's just kind of there, and then it lends some shape and character to the top lip as well. But I feel like most of lips is really just getting this arch of the top lip, and then the bottom lip is pretty simple, where you can just kind of really have a pretty clean, just kind of bubbled out shape, and that's pretty strong, so we'll adjust that as we go here. And I'm just going to use my move brush to kind of pull it back into position, and again use that to slide it up and get that there. Alright, we'll keep messing with this in the next part, so I will see you guys then.